Yeah, I hope you are doing very well, and thank you so much. Good afternoon for anywhere you are, from anywhere you are, and I hope you're gonna have a nice weekend. My name is Emmanuel Paul, as you already know, and today I want to talk to you about Africa and erection. African erections is a process that most of African country go through, trying to define what they call democracy, which is a failing system in Africa most of the time, actually. But also, as we have saw that democracy, so-called democracy in Africa has completely failed. So why am I bringing this to you? Is because of the cost. So it is estimated that so many billions, almost a few billions, is spent in organizing election in all Africa in general. I'm talking about Sub-Saharan Africa. But at the end of the day, we do not have our leaders still remain the same. We have ancient leaders in Africa. So why will we then spend the money if we are not going to get anything new from it? For instance, let me see if I can read you a list of countries that went through election in Africa or gonna go through election in Africa for 2024. So here is Botswana, Burkina Faso, we have Cape Verde, we have Chad, we have Comoros, we have Ethiopia, we have Ghana, we have Guinea-Bissau, we have Madagascar, Mali, Mauritania, Mauritius, Mozambique, Namibia, Rwanda, Senegal, Somaliland, South Africa, South Sudan, Tanzania, Togo, Tunisia, and so on. So you can hear the list goes on and on when it comes to election. Almost like at least maybe 15 countries in Africa goes through election every year in Africa. Now, according to the report I have here, Rwanda presidential and parliament election estimated the cost of Rwanda 8.5 billion. So this was the election took place, I believe it was in the middle of this year, if I'm not mistaken. So that's only Rwanda. Now, financial minister in Enoch, good one budget speech has shown that upcoming national and provincial election will not come cheap, as a billion of rand has been set aside for the May 29th polls. So South Africa spent 2.3 billion of South African rand, which rand is the money they use or currency they use in South Africa or Tanzania. So now, why do we go through this kind of things called election if we're not getting anything from it? For instance, in all those countries, the election is even laughable. I think I will support someone may say this, someone may see this to be crazy, but this is the truth. In my opinion, I will support the idea of Eritrea. Eritrea does not have an election. They don't go through anything like that. Why? Because obviously I support that, because Afwerki will be the president. So there is no need of going through election if the same president is going to be the same president. So why do we go through election in Djibouti? The same president. Why do we go to election in Cameroon? Is the same president. Why do we go to election in Guinea-Bissau, in Rwanda? Why do we go to election in Uganda? For what? What is the purpose of going to election if we know that the one who is there is going to be the one forever and over and over and over, like Angola elections, Mozambique election? By the way, most of our leaders before the election, they take the opposition party or the opposition leader who they think may challenge them, and then they put that individual in prison, and they wait. Well, after election, they release that individual, and then that's it. The life continues. So why do we spend this much money from the money we don't even have, resources we don't have, and time to just go through election? Why don't we just say, hey, okay, Rwanda president, you're going to be president, that's it. Uganda president, you're going to be president, that's it. Cameroon president, you're going to be president, that's it. What is other countries? Like Djibouti president, you're going to be president, that's it. There is no need of going through election to please people, to please the Western especially, while we don't really see any change coming from this election. So my point is that Africa, we don't have enough resources. We should stop this insanity of election. Each year we go through election, but obviously the same people who are in office is the same ones, and they are still doing the same thing. There is no change pretty much we get from this kind of type of election. It's just to waste the money, that little money we already have, and to please people who don't even appreciate, because I know that most of those elections are cast out there so that the Western, especially the European Union and so on, what they call democratic commissions or whatever you want to call, so that they will, they will maybe validate that, hey, this country is democratic country, most of African countries are called Republic, Democratic, I think, Republic of Burundi, Republic of Gambia, Democratic Republic of Congo, Republic Federal of Ethiopia, all those kind of things. But at the end of the day, they are not democrats, because this kind of election we go through, it does not really prove that to be democratic. In fact, even Europeans and Western in general, they also don't have democracy. You saw that this past election in the US, no one wanted Trump to be president. They did not want. And no one or definitely wanted Kamala Harris to be president. So no one chose for her to be in that seat. So then what happened? They just happened to be the president that the system put them there. It's metrics, actually. These kind of things we could talk about. Election is called metrics because it's something that is like delusion. You think something is there, but it's not there. You don't have any right to do that. You don't have any right to choose. It's just they put there for you, and then you follow, and then you think you have elected someone, but you didn't. So anyways, that being said, that's it. Let me know in your comments about African elections. Should we definitely stop elections in all Sub-Sahara Africa? When I say Sub-Sahara, I think I'm talking about Black Africa. Should we just stop this kind of insanity of election, or we just need to continue with election, and maybe one day it will be better, Anyways, that being said, that was it for today. Have a nice weekend. My name is Emmanuel Hani Paulo. Nakushukuru sana kujiunga nasi na nakutakia uwe na weekend njema, usiende mbali. Na go with Kiswahili class. Bye.